Aloha kako! Finances. Let's do it. I love talking about finances. Welcome back to my channel. Ka'oho Ka'alasito here, aka Kale, depending what region you're living in, for your monetary mana'o of the day. Aloha kako. Just dropped off the daughter at school, and now I'm headed all the way from Palolo all the way to the west side. It's my day off. It's a Friday. Loving it. You know, hustlers gotta keep hustling. That's how I do, man. It's day off. What is a day off? There's no such thing as a day off. And that's fine by me. I'm totally cool with that, you know. Welcome to all the Kanes out there. My peeps. Men in your 40s. Blended family. Maybe divorced, maybe broke up, got back together with somebody else. That's cool. You know? Divorce, man, that just seems like something that's like common nowadays, you know, like my parents' generation. I mean, I don't know if they really got, in fact, my parents separated for a little bit and they got back together, and I'm grateful for that. But, you know, now I'm in my 40s, hearing a lot of family or friends or whatnot getting a divorce. Hell, even my patients too, you know, when they tell me, oh yeah, I'm in divorce, I tell them, hey, congratulations, you know, like, if it has to get to that point, then just let it happen, you know, like, I'm sure there's been times where you could try to patch things up, you know, maybe spice it up, or maybe just totally oblivious to the fact that it needed to be done, whatever's, brother, just let it happen, you know, like, things can't always work out the way that you planned. And that's another thing, you know, that I learned in recently, is that whatever your path that you think, whatever your future goals are going to be, and you think it's going to be set, it's not going to be set. You know, whatever you think your 3 to 5 year short-term to mid-term goals are, you know, you could try to make it exactly the same, but it probably won't be. And you got to hedge for that. You got to prepare for it. So meaning like, oh yeah, we're going to get married. We're going to stay married forever, you know, till death do us part, whatever's. By the way, that whole death to us part thing and this whole thing about marriage, to me, every time I hear the word marriage, I think religion. Like it's religious. You know, like religion has a really great way to like guilt people into doing things or to staying in things like marriage. You know, like, oh, my marriage is terrible. And then, no, that's okay. You need to stay there. You need to be married. You know, God will work itself out. I mean, that's each to you. You know, if you believe in that, that's all good. I'm not dissing anybody for that, but I don't. You know, I'm a firm believer that I'm going to go out and make things happen. You know, like I'm divorced too. It just didn't work out. And that's a story for a later time. But like, I can understand. I guess what I'm saying is I can understand what people are going to be going through when they have to get a divorce. I can understand. So that's why I say congratulations. Because it just probably needs to be done. You know, there's no reason in staying together when things are not working out right. And especially if it's on a point where like there's arguments all the time, or you know, and you do that in front of your kids and stuff, like that's not healthy for the child, you know, or for the children, right? Anyways, blended family, divorce, got back together, welcome. What I've learned throughout my years should be shared and talked about. And what do we talk about? Finances, men. Finances. That's stuff that's important for us to talk about. I'm going to take my glasses off here. I'm going to the west side, so, you know, it's the the sun is behind me, so I don't need to have the glasses going in. But, you know, I grew up on the west side. I grew up in Waianae Valley Road. So I know how it is. You have to leave early, get stuck in traffic for 2 hours. And this is, like, when I was young, that was like in the 80s and 90s, you know what I mean? Like, and there's still traffic now. It's not like it changes any different, you know? In fact, it probably gets worse because there's more people here now. But yeah, I know how it is when you got the sun in your eyes going into town, and then when you get off of work and you got to head back home, you get the sun in your eyes coming back home. Oh man, yeah, I know exactly how that is. Okay. Finance is an important thing to talk about. So, recapping, I'm always going to be going back to the financial foundation. I like to share and I like to teach about financial education, but I'm teaching the most basic because everybody needs to know the basics, right? I'm a paramedic for 23 years, and Everybody, or I'm even a weaver for almost just as long, if not more. And everybody, I can connect that to weaving, where like if you come across a weaver, right? I weave Lohala. So if you know anybody that weaves Lohala, or anything intricate with a lot of leaves, you'll see that, excuse me, from far, it looks crazy, right? You're looking at a weaver, you're looking at all these weaves everywhere, and they're just weaving something. But realistically, they're just weaving whatever is in their hands, right? I tell everybody, it looks complicated from afar because it's new to you. But when you start learning it and get your hands in there and get to know and feel it, and then also connect with like-minded individuals, right? A group of weavers, your kumu, which could be your coach in real life. Kumu, by the way, for those that don't know, is a teacher, right? But kumu also could be the tree. It's pretty much the source. And so if you have a kumu and you have a social group, a support group, and you practice and you keep coming back to your kumu, then you're going to get better. And you're going to realize that now you're in that circle, and that whole craziness of leaves and stuff, that's not really what you pay attention to. You pay attention to what's in your hands, what's in front of you. Just a small area that you're weaving. That's what you pay attention to. You don't pay attention to all the other stuff. That's just like life. Just like finances, where it seems very daunting. It seems very I don't want to say the word impossible, because nothing's really impossible. It's only in your mind that you make it impossible. But it seems very hard at first. But if you keep on going at it, in fact, you know what? I take that back. It's about you creating that first step. Only you can do it. Only you can do it. You're the one that's going to look at it. You're the one that's going to find there's a problem in your life. You're the one that's going to find out, bruh, I got to do something. I got to do something. That's the first step, is realizing you must do something. Because if you don't have that realization, you're just going to be comfortable for the rest of your life, and you're not going to elevate. You're not going to upgrade. You're going to be in your comfortable life for the rest of your life, increasing your debt, spending when you shouldn't, because you're not understanding that there needs to be a change. You don't understand that I'm buried in debt. I have these loans. It sucks. So what am I going to do? I want to make more debt because I want to be happy. And in order to be happy, you need to make more debt, right? You're going to be like buying a new car because that makes me happy. I'm going to go on a shopping spree because that makes me happy. I'm going to make another kid because that makes me and my other half happy, right? We're going to have a kid. Which, by the way, one kid, I don't know if it is now the same, but they say a kid from birth all the way to their 18 years of age is going to cost you $1 million. So times that by how many kids you get, okay? And whatever you're giving up for your kid, you're taking away from yourself. Yeah, I know that's what people are going to say. That's what parents should do. But, like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you don't have to give up your whole life for your kids. Like, make them work for it, Like how our parents made us work for it. I'll speak for myself. My parents made me work for it. I put myself through college. So make ourselves work for it. Finances. Once you make that first step to know that you need to change your ways, then doors are going to start opening up for you. You're going to start researching, which a lot of people are terrible at. People are terrible at researching. They'll scroll and they think that whatever they see these videos on is the correct way and the only way, especially if there's likes and all that kind of crap. But you got to do your due diligence, people, because not everything that's on the internet is true. There's the truth out there, but how can you tell what's the truth when it's buried in all this other bullshit? You got to do your due diligence. And that's one thing I got to say I learned from my ex, which is she's a scholar, and I learned how to do my due diligence on things. So one example would be like, if you wanted to learn, like let's just say a Hawaiian language word, right? You look up the word on the internet, or you look it up or in the Hawaiian language book or whatever. Nowadays, I would say internet because that's what's the most convenient. You look up a word, it tells you what the word is. Don't just go with that word. The first one, don't just go with that. You have to cross-reference it. So meaning, whatever word that internet gives you, you now punch that word in and see what the meaning of that word is. That's due diligence in a most rawest form. People don't do that. People don't take the information that's given to them and cross-reference it with other people's opinions and other people's and facts. And and then another thing I learned is cite your sources. Like if somebody tells you something that's very important sounding, cite the source. There's nothing wrong with that. Ask them where they got the information from. I'll now bring it back to weaving as well too. There's a lot of people in cultural practice that is gonna say like, oh yeah, so-and-so taught me this, so-and-so, like they'll name drop. I notice a lot of people when they're threatened, they name drop to try to get past this friction that they might have found themselves in. So when they'll name drop, you don't cross-reference it with the kumus and say, hey, you know this person? You know who this person is that's saying that your name and you taught them that? I heard of one woodworker one time. He's a very famous woodworker. I mean, I'm not a woodworker, so I cannot say the name. Just the idea of it, that this topic is that there's this other guy who's up and coming or whatnot, or learning, and he's new, and he's doing a certain technique or whatnot. And another woodworker asks him, where'd you learn that from? Who taught you? That's another famous thing that us, or a popular thing that us cultural practitioners will do, is if we see you doing something that we do, I'll usually say, who's your kumu? Like, who taught you? And who's teaching you now? Where did you learn it from? Because that's your connection back to your kumu. Like if you're doing something wrong, then it's going to get back to your kumu, especially if they're alive. Yeah, or who's the successor of that line. And so they said, oh yeah, this one person's my kumu. So when the kumu was asked later on down the line, they're like, I only met that guy once. Like they never even taught him anything. So the point of the story is cite your sources, because people can easily regurgitate information, but not cite where they got it from. And that information could be wrong. And you're going to be the one to connect to the next person wrong information. And it just keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. And it's all wrong. And people are willing to stake their lives on it. People are willing to get up in front of audiences and call out others for information that they got, which is wrong. And it makes them look stupid. So cite your sources. That's the one thing that's important, as well as cross-reference your information that you get. Don't just go with the first thing you come with. Like the information I come up with, feel free. Ask me where I get it from. I'll tell you. I know I can guarantee you right now, I'm not the professor or the master or whatnot in all this information that I'm stating, but I can tell you where I got it from. And you can go cross-reference it yourself. And that's why I'm so confident in what I'm saying. And that's why I try to keep it on the basics as well too, because the basics of finances is stuff that nobody can argue with. Like a strong foundation. If you don't have a strong foundation in your finances, you will falter when you try to add more stuff onto it, or even worse, you're adding stuff onto it in the wrong order. Like the order for a strong financial foundation is proper protection, right? There's 4 layers, always 4 layers. Proper protection, then debt management, then emergency fund, and then investing. Those are the 4 categories that I was taught and that I based my finances on, is those 4 things. Okay? Number 1, we'll talk about proper protection. What is proper protection? Protecting something. Protecting something against harm. Protecting something against loss or theft, right? We have proper protection for our phones. We have proper protection for our cars. We have proper protection for ourselves when we go on trips, right? Who's the most important asset in your life? The breadwinner. Okay? Asset means like who puts money in your pocket? You do. You put money in your pocket. You're the one that goes out and works your butt off, right, for a paycheck. So why are you blowing it? That's a little bit later on the line. Sorry, I can't help but always follow up with that when I'd say paycheck. Anyways, so if you're the one that's making a paycheck and you're the one that's bringing home the bacon for you and your family, what happens if you can't bring home the bacon anymore? What happens if you get injured or sick, suffer a heart attack or a stroke or a panic attack? I mean, everything nowadays is just so busy, right? You're like working so hard, you got to drive far, especially if you live in a place that's more affordable, which usually is the west side. That's why there's so many cars coming out of there, right? You want to have a place to live, and that's usually the most affordable. So you got to drive far. You're stuck in traffic. You might be doing things that will help you disconnect from the stress, like smoke cigarettes, right? Oh, I need to relieve the stress. I got to smoke a cigarette. Or like drink alcohol, to feel better after a long day, a long week of work, and it's Friday like today. Probably some of you guys are going to go drink after work, right? Disconnect with the boys or whatever's, the girls, the ladies' night, whatever's. But all that stuff is just adding on to the health of your life, and not in a good way. So if you add years to this ongoing pattern, then that's going to take years off of your life. And when it finally boils over, you're going to start suffering things like a heart attack or a stroke, right? How many of us smoke cigarettes? How many of us, I don't smoke cigarettes, by the way. How many of us drink alcohol? EMS. How many of us like pound Monster drinks or pound energy drinks or pound coffee every day, or do all of the above? All those things is okay now, but if you keep doing it for years upon years upon years, it's going to catch up to you. And then you add the stress of life to it. You add the stress of work, and then you add the stress of life to all that. And your body will not be able to handle that forever. It might be able to handle it for now, and maybe you might feel some symptoms here and there about it, right? Your chest racing, or you're breathing, you get a hard time breathing, or you get fatigued or tired a lot faster than you usually do. You get headaches, your vision becomes blurred a little bit sometimes, or your hands are tingling, your face tingling, or your feet. These are symptoms of like issues that are piling up in your body, because you shouldn't have that. You should all know what your body feels like normally. And if it starts feeling weird, now you're going to add more anxiety to your body. That's just dealing with you on the medical side. Now there's craziness nowadays, like on the west side, for example, people are getting shot all the time. It's like crazy how much it increased within the past, like post-COVID. I think it's a connection with the licensing that I got, the concealed carry licensing and stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know. It just seems like it's a coincidence that after that passed, then now there's more shootings in the west side. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, that's what I see as a coincidence. Especially since I work EMS. I work on the ambulance, so I know that there's more shootings. Not a lot of people will know about that, right? But if you're in a field where you have to deal with human bodies and sickness and injury, those kind of things you recognize. So you might get shot. You might get attacked, Nowadays, everybody is drowning in debt. And so when you're drowning in debt and you're still increasing your expenses and you're not increasing your pay, you're going to become desperate. Cost of living is rising. You're going to become desperate because you're going to have to figure out, can I pay my rent? Can I pay for food? Can I pay for gas? Can I pay my utilities? Can I pay my mortgage? I don't want to be homeless. And I want to have a better life, so I'm not going to want to pay for like Section 8 ghetto housing, where it's more affordable. So all these things come up if you're not prepared for it. So you're going to become desperate, or people become desperate, and you might just get robbed for it. And that can go south very fast too. You could just be driving your car and you get into a crazy accident and you could be killed by a drunk driver. I've seen accidents where like the sun is in your eyes going up Wiley and you cannot see the pedestrian coming, and maybe you're the pedestrian and you get hit by a car. Anything can happen to anybody. I've had coworkers that drive the ambulance that got into accidents and now they're injured and they cannot work. Nobody's immune to injury and sickness. Nobody is. So if you're wanting to get your goals in order and you're going to try to accomplish those goals, why are you not protected? You should be protected. And the way to protect you is with life insurance. I'm not going to sell you life insurance, although I do, but I'm not. I'm just educating you on it. You can do whatever you want to do, and that's what I always promote. Do whatever you want to do. It's your life. But why not increase your knowledge about certain things? Because that might just change the things you want to do. Like I said, 3 to 5 years from now, your mentality could probably change because you've just been introduced to something new. But wouldn't that broaden your horizon of stuff that you probably could, that would make your life better in the future? So life insurance is one of them. I have life insurance. My family does. Why? Because I know that tomorrow's not guaranteed. I work in a very high stressful job. We got to deal with patients anywhere in the whole world, including dangerous areas like on the road after getting to a car accident. It's raining. Maybe I've heard paramedics having to go into like fuel tanks or submarines, or we got to carry a lot of heavy patients, right? Like 400 pounders sometimes, and we could throw our backs out, or we could step wrong and twist our ankles, or like hurt our shoulders, or anything. I mean, I've had so many coworkers. Luckily for me, thank goodness, but like I have so much coworkers that are just injured for just basic little things that they thought would not even hurt them. So the idea is that we never know. So why are you not protected with life insurance? What does life insurance do? Life insurance protects you first and then protects your loved ones. You have kids? You have a spouse? You love them, right? That's why you're working hard, right? So why not protect you and them? If something was to happen to you, you cannot work, you could use your life insurance to help pay for things. There's certain ways to set up life insurance for that to happen. I'm not going to say that every life insurance can do this, because they cannot. There's different types of life insurance, like there's different types of phones, like there's different types of health insurance, like there's different types of cars, right? Car insurance, right? So there's different types of life insurance. But there are life insurance out there that will help you when you cannot work. There's life insurance out there that will help pay for bills when you get cancer, or when you get a heart attack and you cannot work, or when you have a stroke and now you lose function, or you lose motor function in your hands and your arms, and you cannot walk, or you cannot talk or anything, And there's life insurance out there where you can take money out to pay for those the healthcare workers that are going to help provide treatment to you. Like, people think nowadays that like that whole YOLO thing, oh yeah, you only live once. Like, I need to do life now because I'll never know when I'm going to live. Like, when do you expect to die? Like in your 30s? Like with medical breakthroughs now, people are living well to their 90s. So if you're going to live that YOLO life now in your 20s and 30s and just blow it all, and then you live for another 50, 60 years, just just barely surviving, what kind of life is that? What kind of life is that? That's dumb. So back to life insurance. Life insurance is very important. It can be affordable. It's not just expensive. There's different types of life insurance. There's some life insurance out there that you can you pay for a certain amount of time, and then when your finances get better, then you can transfer it to a different one that's going to cover you for a longer period of time. There's certain life insurance that's just basic. Let's just say your finances are in order, but you have a mortgage. You could get a certain life insurance where it can just, if you pass away prematurely, that life insurance will take care and wipe out the whole mortgage. So that way your family doesn't have to worry about paying that extra mortgage when you're gone. There's life insurance out there that if you're a business owner and you have a key employee, like the one that makes the company run smoothly, like if this person either passed away or left, that your business would be really, really hurt. There's key life insurance on that, or business insurance, that can protect that, or can protect your company, that if that person does leave, then you can draw money out of that to keep your company going till you can get another key employee like that. There's life insurance out there that has like an extra type of a savings account to it, in a nutshell. And you can use that money that's accrued over time and use it for whatever you want to use it for. But of course, this is a finance channel, so I'm not going to tell you to use it for dumb stuff like vacation or, you know what I mean? Like pretty much anything that will not return money back to that life insurance policy. You can use it. Sorry, speed bumps. Me, I would personally tell my clients, if you're going to take the money out, use it for stuff that is an asset. That when you, like for example, if I want to buy a property, that's an investment property, and I need a down payment, and then you're looking at your life insurance for that extra money, and you can pull the money out, sure, yeah, use it for that. Use it for the down payment, because you know that it's going to make money for you. You did your due diligence, right? You know it's going to make money for you, and you can put that money back into your life insurance so it keeps growing over time. And then when you pass away, that life insurance money, that extra money, can be passed down to your beneficiaries, anyone you choose, tax-free. So these are like such information that when I first learned about it, I was like, bruh, that is information that is very, you know, like very like, why the hell does not everybody know about this? You know, it's so funny like how people are so skeptical about things that can really benefit your life, and like totally like believe shit that has no benefit to your life. Like people are so willing to want to learn about doomsday shit, or like who's the next actor going out with whoever, you know, like useless bullshit, versus like wanting to know how you can better your life. How do I get on a budget? How does life insurance help me? You know what I mean? Like try to like learn about stuff that'll benefit your life, bruh. Like it doesn't take that long. You can still go back to your mindless scrolling, but I feel like if you were to go in this route of learning about finances, you'll realize you're just wasting your time on that. Like once I started learning more about my finances, like before this, I was a gamer. Like I'm old school. I had Xbox 360, PlayStation, all that stuff. I was a straight up gamer. But now that I'm in my 40s, like I don't have that much time to waste. I gotta start. So I mean, years ago I got rid of all my consoles because I'm all learning about how to better my finances. Like, you know, my games now is like learning how to increase my wealth, learning how to be more one with my family, or learning how to travel more, you know, like all these things like I want to do. That's more fun than gaming. Gaming is nothing now. That's just so, I mean, unless you're making money off of it, that's what I say. Unless you're making money off of that, then it's useless. You're wasting time. You know, like even fighting is dumb unless you're getting paid for it. That's what I keep saying. Fighting is such a Neanderthal thing. If you're going to fight, at least put it in the ring and make some money off of it. You know, like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, jeez. But if you're just fighting a fight, that's stupid. All right. Now, if you came this far, please like and subscribe if you found some value off of this. I really appreciate it, you know. Feel free to comment in the box below. I want to hear your side of the story. I want to hear, you know, what your thoughts about finances are. Maybe what I'm saying is all bullshit. But again, if you want to check out, if you want me to cite my sources, I will. I have no problem with that. I just want it to be transparent. Transparency is very important because that builds trust. You know, and we can share. And whatever you learn, share with others too. Because every single person needs to know about this. If you handle money, if you handle currency, then the rules of finances apply to you as well too. So you need to know this. Expenses, budgeting, that stuff is all important. Because what we're doing now, if you love your YOLO lifestyle, if you're good at your finances and you build wealth, you can do that lifestyle as long as you want, forever. Forever. There's not going to be an end result. And whatever leftovers you got, you can pass that on and protect it to your kids and your spouse or whatever, and let them continue on with that. Of course, financially educated. That's important, right? I want us to live the high life, but it has to be on a budget. Because if you live the high life without a budget, you're only living it for a short amount of time, and you're burying yourself deeper in the debt hole, and there's no end result to it. You're just stuck in that hole that's going deeper and deeper. But with a budget, You can live that high lifestyle forever. And you keep going. And you're going to be way less stressed because you're not going to have any debt, or any bad debt, I should say. All right, gang, I'm in Nanakuli. I want you guys to have a great day. What's your goals? Are you going to start a budget this week? Right? How much money are you spending today? I dare you, write down everything that you spent today. At the end of the day, write down everything you spend. Look at your credit card statement. Look at your debit card. Look at your bank statement, whatever. Tally up how much you spend. I guarantee it's way off than what you think. I guarantee it. Ka'ohuoka Alasito, aka Kale, depending on which region you're living in. I got you. Let's talk about finances. Monetary mana'o of the day. Aloha kako.